Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Style Esports. Tonight we continue Week 6 with a battle between Rank 58 PF Changs and Rank 53 No Good Luck. The last time that I saw PF Changs, they were able to handily secure a 2-0 victory over Mythic Ascension. However, this was at a time when MA was floundering a bit, still trying to find their footing, and since then MA has bounced back in a big way, which is fantastic to see. PF Changs, on the other hand, has since then unfortunately found themselves stuck in a losing streak once again, dropping their last couple of matches. Most recently, they were defeated last week by Peak Academy with a 2-1 match score. In the game, they were able to win. PF top laner Espada managed to get his hands on Gwen, comfort pick for sure, and he went 9-2-3 to carry the game. Gwen was then unceremoniously banned in Game 3, and the Changs were faced with defeat. Their opponents tonight, Team No Good Luck, have also been struggling recently. Just last night, No Good Luck played true to their name as they were taken down by Brandon's Male Harem with a 2-0. The second game in particular was actually quite close, as NGL were able to secure 2 Baron buffs in a 41-minute slugfest, but this wasn't quite enough to get them the Nexus. Tonight, we shall see if the stream buff is enough to get PF Changs back on track, or if No Good Luck will be able to outskill their opponents despite the squad's failings of fortune. Bringing you tonight's cast from the auto host location, as always. My name is Chris Crewman. Joining me tonight is the notorious Nyarko. How you doing tonight, Nyarko?
I'm doing fine, This is going to be an exciting one. I am flexing into the color role for the first time in, I think,
Mm-hmm.
6-7 months. So this should be an exciting experience, not only on a gameplay front, but also from a casterly perspective. I like the fact that we're getting two teams that are very closely grouped in terms of their rankings here in Style Esports. I think that this will be competitive, and hopefully this could be a little bit of a sea change. As you were saying, both of these teams definitely struggling a little bit in recent weeks, and I love to see them bounce back here with a close series. Moving into the pick ban phase, let's see what comes out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I do appreciate you flexing over to color there, Nyarko. I'm very flattered, honestly, that you would be willing to flex into that for me. But we are indeed, as you say, into the bans. Elise is going to be the first option removed by Changs. They are, of course, PF Changs on the blue side for game number 1. No Good Look on the red. It's going to be the Hecarim, so a couple of jungle bans to start things off, Nyarko.
And unfortunately, my girl Talia is going to be knocked out. I will
Mm.
chalk this up to the subconscious effect of my in-game username of Talia's eyebrows. They do not want to see this enter onto the Rift because those eyebrows are mighty indeed. And they're attached to a very good champion. Usually you'd see that mid lane, although G2 recently played its support in an absolutely psychotic bent and approach to the game. Did it work? No. Was it fun? I don't know. Probably not. They went 1-5. But regardless, on No Good Luck side, we're seeing the knockout of the Akali now. This is a good champion, I think, to take out of the pool early. It is the premier assassin, can be flexed top or mid, and just provides a lot of pressure on the map, and a very good target for a high activity jungler to go for early on. And now finally, PF Chang's rounding out the bans with the brand of all things. That is an interesting one for sure. Probably going to pinch away Burning Dreams given their titular name and the fact that they are in the support role. And now first pick Zach on the table. Very, very good in a lot of roles. Being taken down a peg with recent item changes and bans, but still high priority with a high win rate. And I think in 3 separate roles, and NGL
Yeah.
immediately answering back with the Caitlyn Lux. I have no clue how to not play this pick ban phase. I just feel like now I'm just talking through the entire thing. Tossing it back over to you, Crewman. Tell me what you think about these two champs.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for sure, especially given the flexible nature of the Zac, as you were just pointing out, Nyarko. I believe Espada actually played it in the top lane last week, so it'll be interesting to see if it goes back to him or if we see it in the jungle or even, perhaps the support role this time. We'll just have to wait and see. It is the Ezreal Nautilus that's going to match the Caitlyn Lux. I think that makes a lot of sense. Caitlyn Lux, obviously very, very strong pushing lane there. So the Ezreal to be able to sort of safely farm without taking too much harassment from that powerful duo. But the Nautilus, it is a little bit more confusing for me, actually, I suppose, Nyarko, because Nautilus can't really do anything unless in this lane unless he's going for the all-in, right? So he could there is potential for Adam and Burning Dreams down there in the bottom lane to sort of poke out Debussy and sort of win this bot lane by attrition.
Yeah, I think that the Nautilus is mostly here to actually set up for big roams, maybe off the back of Swag 2028, especially if they're on that Zac. Go for some plays early elsewhere on the map, sacrifice a little bit of priority bot side, let Caitlyn Lux kind of ride out that early game power spike that they have, and just get Ezreal in a safe position to farm up. I mean, this champion is one that has high survivability in 1v2s. They're able to draw a lot of pressure towards themselves. We'll see exactly how PFC want to play this continuity out as now we move into the second ban phase. Like in the Urgot and the Fiora bans, pinching away at a spot of the fourth. Meanwhile, PFC answering back with not full top lane bans against Captain Kozer. Instead, they will knock out the Garen for sure, but the Annie is also taken out for Katarina Dukut, who I think really just ran out of characters in their name. But I'm kind of surprised that they aren't actually taking the Katarina from this player.
Yeah, I mean, we had some other name-targeted bans earlier, right? Like the Talia targeted at you, Nyarko, and then of course the brand targeted at Burning Dreams as well. But leaving the Katarina open, and it will in fact not be locked in. It's going to be the Syndra for Katarina. Very confusing for game one.
Mhm. I do like the Syndra. I think that it is by far and away the more stable meta pick. Katarina is not a champion that has been faring super well in Season
Hmm.
13. We'll see what the answer back is going to be. PFC reading the room, gonna grab the Victor. And this actually implies to me that maybe the Nautilus will, in fact, stay in that lane bot side a little bit more. It's hard to get kill pressure early on Victor unless it's just a complete hand stiff. We'll see how Shift is going to do if they can, in fact, shift on Katarina Dukuto. But now it's going to be a pivot back towards top to round out their composition. I like the Gangplank cover, and it will in fact be locked in.
Indeed, yes. The gangplank for Okiora in the top lane, which does mean that Zac is going into the jungle. We will see that in the hands of Swag this time around. And now it's all up to Captain Kozer. What is going to be the R5 counterpick into the plank, into the Pirates? There's a lot of damage on this composition already. I'm thinking maybe a little bit more frontline would be appropriate, potentially.
Castante's up, and that is a pretty classic selection top lane. By classic, I
Ooh.
mean everybody and their mother is picking it in the current season. But instead, the Olaf is coming out. I was not expecting that, but it is kind of an interesting selection because it opens up the chance for the Maokai to be flex topside up against Gangplank. I don't think it's a great flex. I think that Maokai is going to get absolutely obliterated by the barrels, but it is something that can happen. Most likely, Olaf is just going to look to get their R on Ragnarok through the cannon barrage and just run down the Gangplank and beat him to death before he can get an orange off. I think that overall, both of these sides are having a pretty clear set of identities laid out before them. It's just a question of how well can they execute. There's a few champions here and there that I think require quite a bit of execution on both sides. I want Caitlyn Lux to absolutely dominate the Ezreal early, because who doesn't like to see Ezreal dominated in an R34 sense? But on PFC's side, I think that this Gangplank is going to really have to perform well early, keep a spot at fourth in a stable position, and they will definitely outscale the Olaf. But the problem is, Maokai, very good at ganking Gangplank. We'll see exactly how everything will play out as we now move into the client draft, and we'll get a full solidification of where these champions are all going. As we said before, not a whole lot of flex on PFC's side. NGL could perhaps bring the Maokai top. Probably not going to happen, though.
Yeah, Gangplank does have the orange to try and get away from the root from the Maokai W, but you can't cleanse a knockback. So if the Maokai is able to get the Gangplank knocked into the correct direction towards his own top laner, that could certainly be a very effective tactic that NGL could look for. But the Olaf in particular is a bit of a pocket pick for Kozer up there in the top lane. This was something that he pulled out, I think, not in their previous match, but maybe in the match before. I remember when I was taking a look at the match histories for these squads, and he had an absolute banger of a game on the pick. Went like 17-3 or something on the Olaf top. So that is something to look out for. This is something that he's been known to pull out in the past, and as you say, can work well. The Maokai, it is going to provide a little bit more front line for the bottom side of the map as well, for no good luck. And overall, I do agree that the compositions, both sides seem to be pretty cohesive in what they're going to be trying to do. And actually, I am inclined to say that what they are trying to do is actually very similar. It's a little bit more early game on the side of No Good Luck, a little bit more scaling on the side of PF Chang's, like with the Ezreal, with the Gangplank. But overall, I feel like both of these are team fighting comps with some pretty solid front line and some strong carries in mid and bot side. And it will, of course, come down to play. Who pilots it better?
And I do like when we get compositions like this because I think that it shows that both teams are handshaking on the
Fear
fact that this
is the
will be a
first of
skill
many
matchup across
foes.
the board. We see some amount of toss back and forth between these different counter picks in these lanes, but overall, I think that both sides are just really looking to bring their vision to the rift and actually execute on their own terms. And this could really set the dynamic going forward. As we said before, both of these teams looking for a bit of a confidence booster here, week 6 of
Hmm.
style. And I think that they could definitely pull off some big plays on either team right now. It's just going to be a matter of which team is actually going to be the more skillful in executing their overall plans. Uh, yeah, I have nothing else to say, mostly because I am no brain play-by-play caster and I don't know how to BS like most color commentators can. You got anything else to say before we close it out for a quick break, crewman?
Yeah, indeed. Both of us have a brain here. With our powers combined, we may be able to try and fuse our knowledge together to try and bring some semblance of actual commentary here for you guys. We're going to do our absolute best. But yeah, do be patient with us as we are, making it work. But what do you think about the jungle matchup? Because you were discussing, we've talked about how these compositions are both team fighting comps, and it's going to come down to play, of course. And when I'm thinking about like making plays and setting things up on the map, so often that is the work of jungler. So swag on the Zac, and of course the no good luck jungler on the Maokai. I'm calling up his name. Orbitrap, I believe that is on the Maokai. I can't see the names in the client at this point in the draft, unfortunately. But where do you think these junglers are going to look to prioritize early on, Nyarko? You were talking a little bit earlier about how you feel like the Maokai is really good at ganking the gangplank, so that could be a possible angle. Do you feel like that's likely to be matched by Swag, or where do you think we'll see some early action from the junglers?
I think that I would like to see Zac try to focus the bot side at least early on, because I think that one of the dynamics to look at here is the fact that explicit Debussy on the Nautilus is going to struggle to do a whole lot, as you were pointing out early, unless we see a clear gold advantage go over to PFC's bot side very early on in this game. And so if you path down there, Caitlyn and Lux are almost inevitably going to be pushing into the Nautilus Ezreal. From there, you can maybe get a good gank off or at least burn a few summoner spells, and NGL could be pushed back, and there's definitely going to be repeat opportunities to go for engages if Nautilus helps the Ezreal get a kill early on, building up that poke, making sure that Ezreal can actually stand toe-to-toe with the Caitlyn. I think that that's one of the
Hmm.
dynamics I want to look out for on Blue Squad side. For NGL, I think that Maokai early on is looking to rush level 6 a little bit faster than Zac is. Neither of these champions are very good at clearing quickly, but Maokai, I think, is a lot more reliance upon Nature's Grasp to go for big play setups, unless there's someone who's just egregiously shoving in. And maybe that's the gangplank. I highly doubt it will be the case, but I think they will mostly play it by ear. Maybe go for a counter gank against the Zac is actually the best approach. I don't know, man. I played jungle for like a little bit, got an account ban because it was so toxic for me, and then immediately went back to support. So who's to say? Jungle pathing is basically an art that I have no understanding of. It's basically me looking at abstract works. Yeah, we'll see exactly what they do, and I will recite it and try to BS an argument as to why they're doing it when we're in the game itself, which will come up shortly.
Indeed, yes. We are about to go to a short break so we can get set up in the game, but let's kind of put our heads together in Yarko, and who do you think is gonna take this first game based on our compositions? I'm a little bit inclined to go with the side of no good luck. I mean, Caitlyn Lux feels really strong. Captain Kozer on the pocket Olaf feels pretty good, and maybe a little bit of a lack of proactivity in the early game for PF Chang's with this draft. What do you think?
Well, in situations like this, I'm going to let you in on a little play-by-play secret. As someone who can't really analyze comps all that well, I usually just vote on whoever's hotter, and then from there actually try to BS an in-game justification for why they would win. And so for me, I'm going to say PF Chang's, and I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe the Zac is going to be like a really good gamble. You're actually going to get that gank bot side, and a lot of tempo is going to go over to them. Whatever. Who's to say? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying NGL isn't hot, which is why I'm going to say it's a close game, but, they got a Zac and an Ezreal, so, like, what can I say?
Well, your half-brained play-by-play casters are divided, Twitch chat. We'll just have to wait and see who takes our first game. We'll be right back. All right, Twitch chat. Welcome to the battlefield for our first game of the night. Once again, we have PF Chang's on the blue side. We have No Good Luck on the red side, and we have a couple of very relaxed 5-point openings to start things off in our first game, Nyarko.
Yeah, pretty classic 5 point to start off. Not a whole lot of cheese possible on either side. You do have explicit bussy on the Thoughtless, but I don't think that hook is actually really good at setting up for big cheese plays early, especially when you're up against Lux in the hands of Burning Dreams, who can just kind of root anybody who really wants to jump forward. And so I think that playing it safe makes a whole lot of sense to start things off.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any runes or summoner spells that you think would be interesting to note?
Captain
Taking
Kozer,
a
I
look.
think, is gonna go deep on Espada the Fourth, especially with Flash Ghost. Although I think that's probably expected out of an Olaf that isn't in the jungle at this point. Just being able to empower your Ragnarok ever further, I think, is going to be a real big difference maker during team fights. So I think that overall things are making a whole lot of sense for me. No first strike on Victor. They're going somewhere on an Airy, which you very frequently
Yeah.
see. Instead, the person who's going to be on first strike duty in the milling will be Katarina Dukuto on the Syndra, in fact. So makes a whole lot of sense. I think range is relatively even between these two champions. I don't know, man. I'm a brainless support player.
I mean, I would have the same sort of assumption between these two, and the Airy, I do believe, is a choice that's a little bit more focused on the lane. You're obviously not getting that gold generation from the first strike, so it's not really going to scale quite as well, but should help Shift survive the early game against the Syndra fairly comfortably, which can be difficult. Not as difficult as it used to be, since Syndra got oh, that's a light binding onto the Ezra. That's gonna be a lot of damage on a Charizard Zenpai. He's using the heal. He's flashing away now. Both summoners had to be committed. The flash forward for the pacemaker. Oh, the potion. The potion barely keeps Senpai alive as Adam and Burning Dream starting off hot in the bottom lane. But Zach, it's Swag 2028 looking to make his presence felt. The Elastic Slingshot charged up. Here and he goes. Gonna get this slingshot onto Adam. The root comes down as well. And Charizard Senpai over the wall with the Arcane Shift picks up the first blood in game one.
I like the gamble by NGL, but this is the exact dynamic I was talking about, and I will pat myself on the back all the way to Flavortown for that one. I was telling you, we're going to see Zach moving bot side of the map, trying to go for some big plays, and immediately the rotating mid as well.
Stop for a second there, Nyarko, as Katarina's going to have to flash over this wall. Elastic Slingshot. Oh, he's going in. Swag. He's looking for a little bit more. Going to take a tower for that one. A little bit risky, but the Zach will be okay. You were saying?
I don't remember what I was saying. I don't know. I was just entranced by the fact that Swag is playing this psychotically this early. But, good on them. I love to see jungle empowerment of that sort. Arbitrap going to do a really good job getting contingency playing, going for NGL, though, with a quick stealing away of that blue buff top side of the map. Swag not going to be too happy about that one. But, Swag got his bag elsewhere on the map with that other play. And so things looking pretty darn good for PF Chang's to start this one off. The issue that I have with the dynamic I was talking about early is that we still do have all summoners burnt on PF Chang's side, bot side of the map. And we saw how devastating a single Q from Burning Dreams is, who notably is the one person now in that lane that has a summoner spell available. Flash Q going to be what I'm looking for from now on for the Lux.
Certainly a possibility. I do think both teams playing out very well so far. Going to be the junglers a little bit separated at the moment, as Orbitrap has mostly been focusing on farming, so he is a little over 2 camps ahead at the present time. But overall, gold's still very even between these two squads. Our first dragon is going to be a Cloud for our first game, Nyarko. And I think we should expect, if Adam and Burning Dreams continue the push down here, they're going to be able to maintain prio in the bottom lane. This is definitely something that Orbitrap could look for, especially since the Maokai has been farming at a faster pace. Should be a higher level than the Zac for at least the next couple of minutes, as Espada is actually the target. Twisted advance in. How can he find the Bramble Smash? It's just into the wall. I don't think that's going to be enough to secure the kill, and Espada just is able to walk it out.
And actually, it's no good Lux top laner who's going to be burning a summoner spell off of that play. Very unfortunate, because Maokai showing here means that immediately Swag is going to bounce down bot side of the map and help get this dragon with
Yeah.
Charizard Senpai and Explicit Debusy there as well. We'll see if No Good Luck wants to try to venture into the river, but this is the one time where you could grab the dragon and it happens to perfectly synchronize with the fact Orbitrap showed top. The wave was finally bouncing back, and so Ezreal Nautilus find a little bit of breathing room from there. First dragon over to PF Chang's really solid play, although the gold is going to remain about even.
Yeah, I gotta say, it was well played by Swag and the entirety of PF Chang's to see Orbitrap going for that play in the top side and make a move towards the objective on the other side of the map that the Maokai was not going to be able to contest. So well done by them. I have to say, I don't hate Orbitrap's call either to go for the gangplank in the top lane, but I feel like he had to commit a little bit harder for that. Like, if you're kind of giving up the first dragon to go for this play, I feel like he should have committed the flash, make sure you can get that Bramble Smash backwards onto the Gangplank, at least make sure that you get that Summoner spell off the Pirate, but Orbitrap not really able to accomplish anything up there, and it is the first neutral going over to Chang's. See if they can keep building this momentum. Their lead is still very slight, but it is a lead.
I just noticed Orbitrap is on first strike on Maokai. I have no clue if that's standard, as is very obvious with my game knowledge really showing here in the color caster role. But that does seem a bit odd. Like, I don't know, man. Just go tank. Well, why are you not going Moss Stomper either as your jungle item? These are all questions to be answered by someone far smarter than I. Unfortunately, that person is not here today. Well, I actually, I'm not going to speak for you. You probably are smart enough to know, but I am the one who's supposed to pretend
that
to know
is
these
going to be a
things.
dredge line connecting. Adam in trouble. He uses the net to try and get away, but Zach is also here. He flashes forward. He gets the knockback with the stretchy strikes, and Caitlyn is already down. Now Burning Dreams the next to fall as the Mystic Shot connects. Orbitrap forced to flash away under the tier 1 to keep himself alive, and it is PF Chang's with 2 more kills in the bottom lane.
Really good job. Yeah, PFC doing a really good job just setting up for another huge play down here, and this is a dominant lead now for Charizard Senpai on the Ezreal 3-0. He's down a little bit of CS, but that's expected up against the Caitlyn Lux. The issue is, with the gold flowing over to this champion, basically solo, I think that it's going to be up to NGL to find a new approach to this mid game. Rare Atom and Burning Dreams are all but shut down. They can continue to push forward, although they will have flashes restored to them as they come off of the cooldown.
Yeah, they've been punished a couple of times now, Adam and Burning Dreams. This is a lane that is vulnerable to that, right? Kozer is looking for it there. Get some good damage down. Good trade onto Ulquiorra in the top lane. But, I mean, this is the vulnerability of Caitlyn Lux, right? They have so many tools to try and bully out their opponents and pressure the lane and try and win out from the bottom side extremely early on. But they are very vulnerable to ganks, right? And Swag has made his presence felt down there a couple of times now. Has been very successful both times. Orbitrap going for the counter gank that time, or actually I think it was Swag that arrived second for the counter gank. But either way, well played from the Zach, and it is the side of No Good Luck that are in about a 1,000 gold hole at the moment, able to pick up that turret plate. It's going to try and mitigate. They're going to try and mitigate a little bit of that deficit that they found themselves in, but still they have to be careful. You see, they're not sticking around. They're not going to continue to push this lane. They're roaming up the river on the Caitlyn Lux, looking to secure a little bit of vision, make sure that they're safe, as Orbitrap in the mid lane. Going to get the Nature's Grasp onto Shift, but where is the Syndra? Maokai just going for the 1v1. That one wasn't going to work out. He's Captain Kozer thinking about popping the Ragnarok, going all in on this one. He still hasn't used the ultimate, and he's just going to get blown up by Espada. A barrel to the face, and Olaf hits the dirt. With that, the Rift Herald was heisted away by the side of PF Chang's as well, so they're really getting everything now on the top side of the map, and even on the bottom side. Look at this, Nyarko. It's Ezreal and Nautilus farming a couple of turret plates for themselves.
Yeah, this is an unmitigated disaster. No Good Luck, living up to their name for what feels like a second week in a row now, as you were saying. I mean, really, the attempt mid was good. Orbitrap gets a really solid engage off onto Shift, but Shift absolutely dips Katarina there, who just could not follow up on that Syndra, and now bot lane we got an
Oh dear, yep. Katarina's in a lot of trouble. Already used the flash. True Shot Barrage will connect, and there is the flash forward for the last auto attack. Charizard Senpai. 4-0 on the Ezreal. So fed.
So fed for sure, yeah, and it's making this Ezreal Nautilus lane make a whole lot more sense because once an Ezreal is fed, you turn his blink into a jump forward to start a fight, a free flash for an engage.
Okay,
Topside, we
here
got
comes
another
the
one. Speaking of,
slingshot. Cannon barrage comes down, and yep, there he goes. Captain Kozer drops again. This is not the performance he wanted on the pocket pick Olaf. And now it is continued domination for PF Chang's across the map. Orbitrap is going to try and make his way up here on the tree now. He's going to try and defend the top tier 1 turret. Does have the ultimate. Going to go for the twisted advance. Gets the bramble smash onto them both. But the minion wave is there. Okay, Swag will finally pick up turret aggro. But the Let's Bounce is good. That's a lot of damage on his spot. Oh, yeah. The Mount guy's just going to burn down. Thought he could go for the 1v2 under the tower. But PF Chang's outplay it. And they pick up their 7th kill of the game.
Great presence of mind from a spot of the 4th there to flash back from the tower, getting out of turret aggro range when they get rooted up by the nature's grass. We'll see if Captain Kozer can do anything to chase these guys off.
Yeah, well, the charge into the turret might... Oh, it will finish it off, yeah. Come back, Espada. We can fight this one. Is calling a Swag. Maybe he's just waiting for another slingshot. He's trying to get away. The slow is not going to work on a Ragnarok Olaf, but the damage certainly will. The elastic slingshot back in the flash away for Kozer, keeping himself alive for now. Rift Herald still alive. Could even get the second charge. So, oh, Shelly is after the Olaf. Oh, he escapes behind the minion wave. True shot barrage, though. Ezreal ult. Ezreal ult. Does he get him? Oh, just wide left. It looks like Olaf able to sidestep that one. But things just going bad to worse for no good luck. They are fine. Oh, my goodness. That bullet almost took out Kozer. A nice W to save the Olaf's life there. But oh, my goodness, Nyarko. This is turning into an absolute massacre.
The bad news about today is that I cast Maryville University in CLOL, who 2-0'd and got a 12,000 gold lead both games before the 12-minute mark. So I'm not too shocked about this stomp, unfortunately, but don't worry. Any other day, I would be going hog wild. PF Chains is actually popping off. No good luck. Finally able to get a dragon, a brief respite for themselves, so they will not be staring down the soul point super soon. But I mean, really, look at that gold lead. It is absolutely devastating that they're this far behind at 12 minutes. Those towers fallen down, meaning Captain has nowhere to go.
Captain, my captain. He has no ultimate. He has nothing. Not even his life. Espada gonna give him one more bullet. Is all he's going to get. The gangplank, so rich as well. It's Ezreal with a 1,000 gold lead individually. Gangplank with a 1,400 gold lead individually. Mid lane's still pretty close, but I don't think Syndra is going to be able to do a whole lot against Zac, against Gangplank. It's just not looking good.
And Orbitrap's trying to do what they can to keep this game intact, going for a few invades here and there, but it really is showing. PF Chang's is positioning super well, preventing the ability for counter ganks to come through for the tree man, although mid lane he's going to go for something.
Yeah, Orbitrap finding Victor a little bit far up in the lane, but Shift still had the flash. The Unleashed Power comes out, but it's not enough damage. Katarina doesn't have that first completed item yet, even sitting on the tier at the moment. Still trying to stack that one up, but the team's already so far behind. Even with the CC onto the Victor there, they're not able to get the kill. They do get his flash, which is something, but it's just more bad news for no good luck.
For sure. No good luck and a whole lot of trouble now. I just don't really see a way that they reassert themselves in this game without just getting some crucial picks. The issue is, as I said before, PF Changs are doing a great job playing conscientiously, making sure that they aren't overextending in the face of something like the Nature's Grasp. And even when they step up, they're doing so within their means. Shift is, in particular, doing such a good job recognizing the matchup in that mid lane, saying, hey, I know I can come here because Katarina is backed off from me. And so even if Orbitrap gets on, I don't think there's going to be any follow-up as now Swag's jumping in behind the tier 1.
Going to go for the slingshot. Light Binding going to go wide there, and the stretcher strikes onto the ward. Very nicely done from the Zac, really showing the mastery and the flash over the wall to get the knock-up onto Adam. The slingshot again.
No way.
Swag's just going to zero out the Caitlyn. Oh, the dredge line connects onto the Lux, and it's going to be Burning Dreams, who actually does go down. But Swag almost getting the double in the 1v2, just diving the bot lane with impunity. Has his Radiant Virtue already completed versus no Mythics, of course, on the side of No Good Luck's bottom lane. And, yeah, that's going to be the tier 1 in bots going down for sure. See the rotation up into the mid lane. But, yeah, I mean, Nyarko, I really wish that we had the ability to come up with some kind of a game plan for the side of No Good Luck. But unfortunately, as a couple of play-by-plays, I don't think we have the necessary credentials to actually make that happen.
Yeah, man, I lost 10 in a row recently in ranked. I have, I think, a 28% win rate right now. I kind of played Zeri support a few times, and that definitely didn't help my case. But regardless, I think it is indicative of the fact that I have absolutely no freaking clue what NGL can do to come back in this game. If I were them, I just focus on the draft for round number 2. Ban out some of these crazy champions, particularly the Zac from PF Chang's side. Swag playing so far forward. Look at this.
Yeah, and that was the first pick, right? It was the Zac. Was the first pick on blue side, and Swag's really showing us why that was the choice that was made, because as you say, piloting it incredibly well has made such a huge impact as he steals the Rift Herald. Nyarko going for the Let's Bounce, and now the Ragnarok is just, it doesn't matter. And there's a Mystic Shot and one more auto attack. Tree timber, as the tree does go down in the forest. And 2 more kills, plus the stolen heralds. Oh, Swag. We were singing his praise. We were trying our best to curse him, Nyarko. We did everything we could to give No Good Luck a chance in this game, but Swag's too good. He's too good.
Yeah. And we're talking about feeling themselves. I mean, PF Changs are at a point in the game where I think that the real ego play is just not dying, just going for the perfect matchup here. They will.
Well, they did lose that dragon earlier.
Yeah, they lose the dragon early, so it's not a true perfect game. But kills are all matter. You know that as well as I do as a play-by-play caster. I mean, do you ever talk when kills aren't happening? I never do.
Well, I mean, I talk about dragons too.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, I mean, you're just better than me, I think, is like what we're getting from this whole scenario.
Well,
so
I don't know about all that.
Oh man,
my brain should be around the same size at the very least. So.
I mean, I played Talia support for 2 years, so like at this point, like I think that all of my neurons have completely atrophied.
Yeah, I don't really know what that would do necessarily to like neurochemistry or your actual brain structure. It is something that I have not done a lot of, so that does distinguish us in some way, but again, I really don't know what it means.
I do think that the true opiate is the fact that we both played League of Legends, and so like anything beyond that, we have already fallen to like the bottom half of the population's intelligence quotient, right?
Yeah, we've been exiled from paradise. It's it's already over.
I'd rather live on my computer, than die on my knees.
Oh, same.
I think that's how that goes. Yeah, man. This is modern Milton. This is modern Milton. We are absolutely popping off here in the booth. No Good Luck's in a real bad situation. It's I'm not really sure. PF Changs at this point are just happy to like put pressure down, but they aren't really driven to get kills. They know that the slow bleed out, a No Good Suck, in fact, is really going through, favoring them over Red Squad. As we see another engaged topside, Captain Kozer in a whole.
We got a slingshot. That's gonna land. Captain Kozer is already at 50%. Yeah, Swag. He's got a whole lot of it. He's going to continue moving forward. He's going to be advanced on in a twisted manner as the Let's Bounce does come out, and Captain Coaster's running rapidly out of health bar. There he goes. One more W from the Zac. Will secure the kill. The Bramble Smash into the turret. One more turret shot. Oh, he doesn't even go into the passive. They couldn't even get him in the passive, Nyarko.
Yeah, we haven't seen the passive all game. Swag is just playing like a champion that doesn't even have that fifth ability. Very impressive stuff. PF Changs now just having fun with the game, frankly, pressuring all of these lanes to perfection. This is textbook domination on the Rift right now. Shelly hasn't even been dropped yet. Here it goes down on the tier
Adam.
2.
Adam, not like this. No, Adam. Oh,
Where Adam Common
He lives for now. The turret will not. The turret is definitely dead. The tier 3 now, potentially under fire, but no, Shelly gets distracted by a minion wave and will be eliminated. So, base remains unbroken for the time being. Keeping that one intact up to 20 minutes. Honestly, bit of an accomplishment considering the current state of the scoreboard.
Yeah. I mean, I know my life would be a lot better if I could hold anything for 20 minutes, but, impressive stuff all around. NGL very much struggling in this game. We're about to crest that 10,000 gold milestone that you often only see when the Baron is taken. We haven't even gotten to the point where the big purple worm is on the map just yet, so it's an awkward
Right.
situation to be sure. Yeah, they're really putting me into a tough position here. This has got to be the hardest kind of game to color cast for, given that like one of the teams is just getting pooped on. Oh, whoa, Syndra, what are you doing with the blue buff, buddy?
Katarina, she wants it. Is she gonna get?
Oh my
No,
gosh.
there's too much health on that buff still, and now Katarina is gonna give her life to not get the blue buff. Swag's just gonna pick that one up. The ace in the hole did come out, but it
Passive
didn't.
proc?
Oh, passive? Is he in the passive?
Passive
No,
proc?
no.
Passive
Rainbow
proc?
Smash is
Passive
huge
proc?
from Orbiter. They got him. They got the passive.
It's a huge dub.
Oh, the teleport,
No good
though.
luck. Gonna rally in the 20th minute. Oh my god.
They even get the kill. It's a huge shutdown onto Adam. Their first kill of the game for the side of No Good Luck. They finally found a little bit of it. A tiny little measly portion of luck. But I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah. I mean, PF Changs are doing to No Good Luck what happens after you eat a bunch of PF Changs, but that's beside the point. At least we're seeing like a little bright spot in the tunnel. That 10,000 gold milestone hasn't quite been taken yet. It's going to take the Baron Nashor for them to do so. And I mean, Captain Kozer is doing a really good job split pushing here.
Yeah.
Spada is disgustingly fed, is basically able to third health Captain Kozer off of one barrel. I cannot imagine what's going to happen as the combos come through. But yeah, I don't know. Shift might be in trouble.
Oh, he's going to get advanced on. There's the Brambly Smash. And yeah, there he goes.
Cow.
That's the second kill. That's two. They just doubled their kills in the matter of, what, like a minute?
Yeah, more than double that. I mean, that's like infinity times the number of kills that they had in the past few minutes.
Yeah, for compared to what they had before 20 minutes. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, this is another credit.
Increase in kills. Okay.
That's how math works. That's another credit to why I'm color casting tonight. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, are you sure you're a play-by-play actually? Because you seem like you really got a good handle on this.
Yeah, man. Like color casting's so easy. I don't know why nobody wants to do it. Apparently, like
very strange. Anyway, we do have our fourth dragon is going to be spawning onto the rift in just about 25 seconds, as that is a Nautilus who's going to hex portal directly onto a Syndra, but he's fine because his team is very far ahead. Katarina doesn't have enough damage to actually zero him out quickly, and here comes the depth charge. Charizard Senpai over the wall. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. Good damage onto the Syndra for the Scat of the Week. Is it enough to buy enough space? No, it's not, because Swag is here. He's here to swag all over him. There goes the mid laner. Ace in the hole comes out. Swag gonna soak that one as well. Olaf still trying to make something happen. He knows that they can't fight right now, so Captain Kozer, he's making the call. We got to get something where they are not. He's trying to push down mid right now. It will be Hextech Soul Point for the side of PF Chang's. Really, really big. Hex Soul, arguably the strongest in the game, but they do get another turret, the side of No Good Luck in the mid lane. Captain Kozer able to get something.
Absolutely wild game. I think I've said that a few times now, but I have no other descriptors for the fact that PF Changs are just in an absolutely dominating scenario right now. The gold lead has actually shrunk a substantial amount from what we were seeing earlier, which is impressive to be sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing my math wrong. I can subtract two simple numbers from one another. Yeah, it has shrunk.
Careful now. No math on stream, remember?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, NGL is in a whole lot of trouble. Game state hasn't really evolved at all in the past like 5 minutes, and therefore I'm finding any. Yeah, okay.
They found a Nautilus. Debussy potentially in trouble, as Adam is really trying to auto attack him as much as possible, but that was actually just one auto attack too many, as the Caitlyn gets caught out by Swag. They will eventually finish off the Nautilus, but the Olaf will also be sacrificed. Katarina with a decent scatter, and that is the elastic slingshot onto a Caitlyn trap, as Katarina able to dodge away from the strikes, but he's gonna burn down to the trial by fire from the plank from the pirates, and the arcane shift forward as Senpai finishes off the jungler as well. It is a 4-for-1 in the top side jungle as PF Changs continue their dominance and look to potentially start breaking the base, start closing this one out. They still haven't made any moves towards the Baron, Nyarko. Which I find a bit interesting. I guess there were some kind of low health bars, but really should be looking to secure that one pretty soon, I would say.
I would say so. You don't want to throw it in the 20-minute mark, you know. Just go for it once you get a few picks under your belt. Yet again, we're seeing that gold lead expand in favor of PF Chains. And now the big purple worm is started up. No vision there for no good luck. That's another dynamic, I think, in this game that is really punishing them. It's just hard for them to get wards out, even in their own jungle. Shifts in
Captain
trouble.
Kozer just flashed over that wall. He's 2 levels down on Victor, but he's not afraid. He has the Conqueror stacked. And he's gonna have enough. He's gonna just chop down the Victor. So there's Captain Kozer, knowing his limits on the champion extraordinarily well, able to kill off the enemy mid laner right after they get Baron. So that is a very important Baron buff that has been removed. But still, a lot more work to do for the side of No Good Luck.
Rare Adam just raw ulted here. Let's see
he's
what
in no man's land. There's nothing. He's got nothing. He's got a Gale Force. But there is a True Shot Barrage that is going to go wide left. And the Light Binding will also connect. Arcane Shift already used. Oh, no, he had another one. He had another Arcane Shift. And that's going to be a double for the Senpai. 10-0-3 on the Ezreal. Absolutely tearing it up in this game. Absolutely crazy stuff.
Yeah, and, you know, really surprising play there. Explicit Debussy actually pushing on the Locket of the Iron Solari. I don't think I've ever seen that from a support on my own team. Mostly because I'm the support, and I forget most of the time.
You said you hadn't seen Locket of the Iron Solari on wait, what did you say?
Oh, I just said nobody ever uses the active on Locket of the Iron Solari. And by everyone, I mean me. I am everyone. That's usually why I go Even Shroud, and then I have like some kind of like BS justification for why Even Shroud is like a better item. No, trust, guys. That's why I play like Rel, Tarek, and Even Shroud. So good on them.
All right, well, it seems to be working out all right for Debussy so far in this one, the Locket purchase, and we can see that he did actually go for that activation, as you were just saying. So, yeah, it seems like it's a decent choice at least. Maybe it doesn't have quite enough on the Even Shroud. You know, as the color caster, I would expect you to, you know, probably got a good read on that one. But that's Swag going underneath the turret. He is causing a lot of chaos in the backline, but he's also running out of HP. He's going to go straight into the passive. They did get a kill onto the Lux, but Swag is going to get taken down. They haven't quite finished the turret, but they will now. There goes the tier 3. Inhibitor under fire, and Victor actually split off towards the top side. Baron buff or no, Shift is still trying to make that split push happen. The bot lane inhibitor will be secured, as Charizard Senpai does have to be a little bit careful. We don't want to disrespect too much, as Maokai can click on you. No matter how far behind he is, he can always click on you.
That is true. You know, I think that's what's keeping most of the teams I play with in the game. You can always just click on people. Clicking on people is fun. It gives you that dopamine rush. Yeah. Will it lead to you getting gray screen? Most likely, but I am glad that PF Chains is showing a little bit of respect here. More respect than I'm showing to this game in general, to be honest. But they're going to back off, probably just go for Soul, and then run it down mid to finish off the game. Maybe even grab another Baron. It depends on how hard No Good Luck turtles and how much they want to keep themselves trapped in this nightmare.
Absolutely. That is kind of the question. As Dragon is alive now on the Rift, and it does appear there will not be a contest. There's just no realistic way that No Good Luck could walk in towards the bot side river safely. So they're just not going to do it. And that will be Hextech still given over. Baron will not be alive again for another 2.5 minutes. So we do have a potential bit of a lull state in this game, but we'll just have to see. One inhibitor down already. That is a lot of damage onto Senpai. A nice light binding from Burning Dreams. Doing some work. And that will prolong the game as the Ezreal can no longer siege safely. And PF Chains are going to back out for now.
And that's perfectly fine. I think that No Good Luck actually are in a relatively good position to continue to defend until the next Baron comes up. They still have their inhibitors and whatnot, top and mid, and they have good enough wave clear to where one wave of super minions isn't really a problem, as long as they all want to keep themselves rooted on their side of the map to begin with. The question is, can they push out at all to try to stop a second Baron Nashor take? They're down 11,000 gold. I've seen bigger throws in my time, but at the same time, not super frequent. I think that like the likelihood of No Good Luck winning this game right now is down in the dumps. I think what you really have to look for is just one disastrous play at like the 30-40 minute mark where the death timers are long.
Okay, that's an aggressive move forward for Swag. He's gonna get the Let's Bounce. Adam separated from the team. We'll have to flash into the Krug pit, trying to step back forward, trying to get in a couple of auto attacks. Orbitrap with Twitch and advance onto Senpai on the other side. The Unleashed Power comes out, but the Ezreal will barely survive. And Swag is still in a 1v2 against the Caitlyn and the Olaf. The Ace in the hole will come out. They'll finish off the junglers. That's 1 kill back. But if we look on the other side of the fight, oh, Charizard Senpai actually has gone down. So both him and the Zac have dropped, but it is a triple for the Victor as Shift comes online. His first 3 kills of the game, by the way, on the Victor just now at the 29th minute, but it wasn't too late by any means. And Shift, he was playing Victor. He scaled, he got a triple kill, and now they're going to end the game. As the Dredge line connects, Rare Adam in trouble. Rare Adam 90 caliber net to try and get away. Explosive boost, he's taking a lot of turret shots. Puts over Peacemaker, almost enough, and it will be to get the kill. As it's only Shift and Espada left now, the solo laners for PF Chang's looking to end the game as we crest the 30-minute mark. And they're not going to be able to do it. It's going to be the Hex Gate out of the base for Espada. And Shift is going to have to retreat as well. So they secure a second inhibitor as Captain Kozer flashing forward. Yes, we've seen this before. Can the Olaf find the kill onto Victor again? He can. It's a big old shutdown for the Captain. But they lost their second inhibitor.
Once again, a really good call by Captain Kozer. I think that this speaks to the fact that they still know their limits. It's just coming a little bit too little too late. Sometimes sheer drunken belligerence will get you shut down, but I don't know if we can get a full-on dub for NGL. I hope we could see that kind of aggression coming through earlier on in game number 2 that we will still have to go through. You know, at the end of the day, 31 minutes holding on at this length of a deficit is actually pretty impressive. NGL, I think, are just doing this to spite me, as I really had to go to the bathroom at like the 25-minute mark, and it is still the case now at 31 minutes into the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very rude of them to actually prevent you from responding to the call of nature. But we'll see if PF Chang's can help you out with that. They're going to go ahead and start up this second Baron. We have Orbitrap on the other side of the wall, but he doesn't have Flash. He has no way to get into the pit, and the Smite is good from Swag. So they're able to lock that one down, and now should be a relatively simple matter to walk down the top lane and end the game.
Say so. Walk down whatever lane you like at this point. You know, you got empowered minions coming through, and they are only going to get stronger with that Baron buff. But yeah, it does look like first and foremost, Espada is going to lead the charge down the top side of the map to end the game. Taking a quick look at itemization here, because that's something that color casters do, I think. We got Gale Force build on Espada. I don't think that is very frequently done on the Gangplank, but you know, they are fed AF. I think that's what the cool kids say, and so it makes a lot of sense here. Captain Kozer with a sneaky back, but the question is, can they return to their base fast enough to try to stop this rampage down the top lane?
Yeah, I wonder if that's something that Espada just always does on the Gangplank, or, well, hang on, let's cast the end of the game. As the tier 3 is under fire, Swags can go into the back line with a slingshot. He's going to get knocked back by a Scout of the Week. He's going to flash forward now, and just ultimate right in Adam's face. Just flash ult right on top of Adam. Here comes another slingshot, gets the knockback, gets the stretchy strikes, and oh my goodness, Swag. He's just, go easy on him, man. Oh my god, what did they do to you? Swag just absolutely smurfed all over him. He had full control of the game the entire time. He's going to go into the passive once again. They got him in the passive a few times. There's the teleport to save the Zac Bloblet. Oh, a nice Brambly smash from Orbitrap to actually take out Swag towards the end here. But Charizard Senpai should be able to end this one very, very comfortably as the Orbitrap goes for a last-ditch effort. And in 33 minutes, it will be PF Chang's taking our first game of the night.
Impressive showing from PF Chang's. What can I say? I think that overall, we just saw domination in every single individual lane. But I think the particular matchup here that really impressed me is between Swag and Orbitrap. Orbitrap got Orba clapped by the Zac on the tempo that Zac was operating on from so early on was super impressive. And while I do like the fact that Orbitrap was often cross-mapping, going for some kind of invade, they weren't actually able to do anything when it came to the raw power of playing through these lanes. The ganks just weren't working out mid, they weren't working out top, and oftentimes it led to no good luck, just falling further and further behind PF Chang's, especially as Swag saw the weak point bot side of the map and continued to gank over and over again, where Adam and Burning King's gambling on the classic Lux Caitlyn combo, but this time it just didn't work out, and it really made the draft of PF Chang's side look a lot more impressive coming through. You know, I was a little bit confused as to why we were seeing Ezreal Nautilus, besides the fact you want to pick Ezreal with someone who has Bussy in their name, but you know, coming through and recontextualizing it now, seeing that they got this quick advantage onto this champion, getting them to 3-0 really fast, it allowed for him to become an engaged machine alongside Explicit Jabossi and Swag 2028. So maybe we'll see Lightning Strike twice. PF Chang's coming back for another dominant game. But honestly, in my heart of heart, I hope that No Good Luck takes something from Zach and decides to bounce back here for game number 2. We're going to throw it to a quick break.
Ooh, nice.
Return, it'll be for the second match of the night.
Sure, sure. Yeah, we'll be right back. All right, everyone, welcome back as we get ready to jump into our Game 2 draft. The teams have swapped sides for this game, so we will be seeing No Good Luck moving over to the blue side and PF Chang's over on the red. Nyarko, what other changes do you think you'd like to see? What other adaptations should we expect from No Good Luck moving into Game 2?
Well, NGL is starting off with an adjustment I was really hoping for, which is banning the Zac away from swag. I mean, you cannot give the goo man to that guy ever again.
Hmm.
Absolutely cracked play from minute one on this champion. Really good call to path bot and focus Charizard Senpai and Explicit Debussy to get them ahead. PF Chang's not seeing any need to adjust their own bans, though. The Talia, the Brand, and the Elise still gone from their side. And now I want to see what NGL are going to do with first pick. I would like to see something different than the Caitlyn Lux bot lane, which seems to be something that is very momentum based. If we just see a bit more of a stable scaler, something like a Varus pick, I think I would be happy with that. And Captain
Whoa.
Kozer, top side of the map, who was one of the bright spots for NGL, going to go for the Cassante this time.
A very interesting choice for the first lock-in. Let's see how much we've been playing the Cassante for captain. He's been playing it a little bit. No stats really to speak of in terms of this season, as it is still pretty early on in the season. But he's played 3 games according to op.gg and won 2 of them. So relatively good success so far in the Cassante. The Volibear will be the response. A little bit of a flex, could go into top or jungle. I feel like the bear wouldn't do great into the Cassante, and there goes the flex as Fiora gets locked in for Ulquiorra in the top lane.
Interesting angle from PF Chang's going for that Volibear so early. This is often a champion you see as a response, but maybe it's the ultimate that Swag is looking to play off of. Instead of getting the less bounce, you just power slam down, shut down a tower, and get a big dive. This could just be a signal that, especially with a skill pick like the Fiora, that PF Changs are just looking to absolutely dominate, and they feel that they are the better team. NGL, though,
Mm.
grabbing themselves an Ivern, and, given that this is coordinated play, this is surprisingly enough probably a flex pick.
Certainly a possibility of that, I would say, yes. We've seen crazier things, I think. As let's see what No Good Luck are going to want to round out their first half of the draft with. The Seraphine considered, the Cat heavily nerfed, the Tarek locked in.
Great champion here, not gonna lie. NGL, no good luck. Gonna take one of my favorite champions now after they rework Talia. And so I will still have some respite and have something to cheer for this game on Blue Squad's side, even though they had that other pick denied from me. PFC now going to have to round out the first set of picks. But what I really like is that this Tarek makes the Ivern better and makes the Cassante better as well, in particular. Any of these champions that just can press the go button and walk bodily at a group of PF Chang's players becomes so much more powerful with Tarek Ultimate on them, with their E stun as well to combo up with stuff like Cassante's third and Tofo strike. I think that this is a really nice synergy that we haven't seen a lot of so far in competitive play. PFCs grabbing themselves the Nami, but leaving the Lucian for the second phase, and that means NGL are
Yeah.
immediately going to snap ban it.
Yeah, of course. Makes a lot of sense. Ezreal's still available, though. So Senpai could go back to that one. I think it wouldn't pair badly with the Nami, and he is very comfortable on it.
Yeah, that's definitely a chance that that happens. I think that Ezreal in particular is a very good answer to Tarek, but actually they're going to go the opposite direction. They're going to dive in. They're going to grab the Kaisa for Charizard Senpai, in fact, but NGL trying to play with some early game prowess by hovering that Draven there. Once again, this is a secret kind of saucy pick that goes very well with the Tarek. I'm not sure about the Zeri hover. Okay, they're just cycling through stuff and I'm getting triggered.
We'll see what they end up locking in. I don't want to consider the hovers too much, but some superb analysis there, definitely, Mr. Nyarko, on the Tarek and the benefits that he has with the rest
Thank
of the
you,
team
Mr.
composition.
Crewman.
Yes, of course, of course. And this Samira, what do we think about that synergy?
She dashes at people. You have an
Sure
E that
does.
stuns on charge, so pretty good. I kind of prefer the Tristana for this kind of aggressive early play, but Samira, I think, is spiking a little bit harder in the meta right now. And Katarina going to return to that trusty Syndra pick most likely. I really am in a bad habit of talking about hovers. I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe it's the shift over to color casting that has caused all of my good sense to leak out my ears if it wasn't already gone prior to this.
It's tough. It's a tough one for sure, but it will indeed be the Syndra once again for Katarina. And if we bring our minds back to that first game, right, Nyarko, that mid lane actually was very, very even for almost the entire game. Neither champion, I think, either the Victor or the Syndra, had a huge impact in that first one, as the Orianna will be the response for Shift on R5, saving the mid lane counter pick, of course, for last. And it's going to be El Clasico, a very, very old matchup here in League of Legends, as the balls will do battle in the middle of the map.
I like this call a lot. PF Chang's going to get shift onto something a little bit initiatory, something that doesn't need to scale quite as hard as the Victor does. I think that given the prowess of Swag at setting up for plays, now being denied the Zac, that kind of engage needs to come from elsewhere, and this time it's going to come from that Shockwave. Not that Volibear can't engage in themselves, that's definitely something that can also happen here, but I like the fact that we have this Orianna in the hands of Shift, and as you were kind of speaking to earlier, this was a very even lane. I think that both of these players have good fundamentals, but the real difference maker between PFC's and NGL's mid came down to the fact that Katarina occasionally struggled with following up on engages from Orbitrap in fight, and maybe you could chalk that up to Orbitrap being a little bit too far forward and whatnot. That's not going to happen this time on the Ivern, so hopefully the Syndra just postures a bit more aggressively, and from there, I think that we could be seeing yet another very even lane where both players are looking to set up fights for their team.
Yeah, I think that could work quite well. You know, maybe a little bit more CC on the side of No Good Luck this time around is debatable for sure. I mean, Maokai definitely has a lot of CC as well. So, you know, maybe that wasn't necessarily the issue in the previous game. You know, there's my own half brain coming into play for a second there. But yeah, it is, I think, a fairly well-rounded composition that they've managed to put together. It is definitely some interesting picks that we don't see a lot in the Ivern and the Taric. Maybe that can work to their benefit if PF Chang's maybe aren't as accustomed to knowing their limits against these particular champions.
Yeah, and Rare Adam Burning Dreams, I think, are two competent players. It was just a matter of them playing a group of champions that inherently push out against a Zac that knew to go towards that bot lane like a heat-seeking missile. That's really what the problem came in from. And so here you have a group of champions that don't push quite as hard. These two, in fact, really just kind of engage on their own terms, but otherwise can kind of control the waves however they so desire. Taric obviously can also heal the Samira off the waves while pushing them out, which leads to really nice kind of push and pull states between them and Kaisanami. So I do think that this time around, Orbitrap is not going to be so hard pushed to find things elsewhere. And it's going to be harder to find things elsewhere. You can't really invade on Ivern in the same way that you can some of these other picks like the Maokai from game number 1. So hopefully we'll just see a big brand new look from both sides.
Yeah, well, let's turn our attention over to the other side now. PF Chang, so what they've put together. It seems like they have a decent amount of frontline again this time around with the Volibear. It's going to give them some good early game power as well. You were just saying that Ivern, you know, not really great at going for those invades. Volibear absolutely can look for something like that, especially against the Ivern, who's not very strong in the early game. So it'll be interesting to see if the side of PF Changs want to make some aggressive moves into the enemy jungle. And then the solo lanes, the Fiora Orianna, some very strong scaling there. And should be interesting with the bot lane as well. The Kaisanami is a pairing that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And does seem a little bit weird. You kind of were touching on that right as it was getting locked in. But what do you think that bot lane is actually going to look like? Kaisanami versus Samira Taric. You were saying that they're kind of going to like have the push going back and forth. It should be relatively even in terms of priority as it gets traded off. But do you think one of these lanes is favored at all in the lane itself, or do you expect one of them to have a bigger impact in like mid-game team fights, or like what do you think how that's going to play out?
I think that both teams are looking to go kind of coin flippy bot side. It's really just going to be up to how these players individually are able to pilot their champions. And what I mean by that is if Nami can land a bubble onto Samira as they try to go for the engage, I think that boom, all of a sudden Taric stuns don't matter. Taric also has to get very, very close to actually proc those kinds of engages. So PFC have a really good chance at getting to some scrappy fights where they actually have the advantage The thing is, obviously, Samira, if they get going, will continue to keep going until the very end of the game, get absolutely fed, reset those Inferno triggers during
Yeah.
team fights, and with the backup of not only the Taric, but also the Ivern, can become a really unstoppable force. So, once again, I'm focusing bot side, looking for some early game plays. Maybe we're going to
Mhm.
see the same kind of approach to the lane from PFC as we did in game number 1. This time, though, it's going to be much more up to the Nami to get something like a flash bubble off, I think, for the Volibear to really profit.
Yeah, definitely. There's not a ton of setup for the Volibear, right? So while he is very strong early, his laners are not really going to be that effective in actually setting up for those ganks to come through, unless No Good Luck are pushed up extremely far in the lane, which would obviously give that opening over. But what do you think about the compositions as a whole? You know, now that we see everything rounded out, do you favor one of them? Do you think you have a prediction for our second game?
That's a funny question, Crewman, because I don't think. Okay,
Ah, I forgot. How
in
could
all
I'm
honesty,
because I also don't think so.
in all honesty, I really do like No Good Luck's composition this time around. A lot of my favorite champions are coming into play here, the Ivern, the Samira, the Taric. But the issue that I have is that I think that they really rely on early game momentum. If they do, in fact, get a better laning phase versus PFC than what we saw in game number 1, they can absolutely roll this team. But I think that right now, I think overall PF Changs have proven that they are stronger players from that first game, and they are on champions that can really thrive in that kind of environment, just absolutely slapping the crap top, mid, and bot.
All right. We'll see if they can do it, if PF Chains can continue their momentum and take the win in 2-0, or if No Good Luck have enough support for their Samira, for their Syndra to really allow them to thrive in those team fights. We'll find out, guys, right after this. right, Style fans, back onto the Rift we go for game number 2. Once again, teams have swapped sides. We're over to blue side for no good luck as they go for an invade. And I did press in-game scene, right? Why isn't it changing? So weird. Are we back? Stream? Is my stream working? I think my stream is working now. Okay, great. Yeah, a little bit of an invade there, actually, to start things off for the side of no good luck. They got a deep ward on the blue buff, as Shift is going to spot out Kozer as he tries to make his way towards the top lane. This is very sneaky. Cassante in trouble. Might have to flash very early on, but no, he has a blast cone. He does have to use the ghost. It's teleport ghost on the Cassante. I'm sure he would have flashed if he had it, though.
Espada did also ghost back, so that is going to hang in the balance for top lane. PF Chang's and no good luck, just able to kind of parlay a little bit of tempo there on that top side of the map. Vision going down for PFC at that blue buff, so they're going to know where the Ivern is in their clear path. Obviously, pretty atypical for a champion, so no leash needed. Where Adam and Burning Dreams able to get out to a start bot side before Charizard Senpai and Explicit Debussy.
Yeah, gonna be able to at least get the push for the first couple of waves. See how that ends up playing out for him. Remember last game, Swag very, very early on made his way down there, but starting up on the top side of the map this time does mean actually that he's giving up his own blue buff. As Orbitrap did have vision on that one, realized what the bear was doing, and now Orbitrap is very, very sneakily looking for the level 2 gank in the bottom lane. But the fact that the wave is pushing into the Kaisa Nami makes me think that it's not very likely that they're going to step forward and expose themselves to that gank.
And this is a pretty awkward situation.
I only have half a brain, and I think that.
This is kind of an awkward situation. In fact, Orbitrap didn't get anything bot side of the map, makes their clear path so much more awkward now because they are a champion that kind of has to loop both top and bot to get their camp set up. Here, they only put down their passive onto the red buff and the Raptors, and only now are they going to be able to set up and clear as Swag is top
now we got
side.
Swag. Flashing in, gets the stun onto Captain Kozer. No ghost. Remember, the riposte comes out. One more auto. Oh, that was so beautiful. Can he dash away, though? Oh, the last turret shot will make it a trade. That was really, really well played from Swag. He actually held the turret aggro as long as he could. It still wasn't quite enough to avoid giving over that trade kill. I think a little bit of minion block on the Fiora prevented her from actually escaping from the turret. But still, it's the first blood that did go over to the Fiora. And then that kill is traded back onto the Cassante.
That's what Espada wants you to think. Minion block, minion block, minion block. You know, not an overstep. And even so, I think the traded kill is probably fine. If Fiora does like getting gold on themselves early. Yeah, PFC getting off to a really solid start. I think no good luck are doing a good job balancing and bouncing back. Even though it was first blood, that little bit of a gold boost is going to be split between Swag and Espada, while Captain Kozer gets everything for themselves on the Cassante.
Yeah, definitely. The assist factoring in there as well for me to get a little bit of additional gold for the side of PF Chang's.
And
looking at Fiora already going to be winning out in these trades with the Sheen. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to talk about the fact that Ivern has managed to clear their entire jungle in that intervening time, and now it's actually Swag who's a little bit down on CS. Kind of expected, I think. The Volibear also not a champion that clears super quickly. We've been seeing that instead both of these players are looking for big pushes into lanes, as Orbitrap is showing top.
Yeah, just looking for a little bit of a play, but again, the wave pushing into the Fiora, so Espada not really gankable at the current time. But yes, that was the Volibear. Oh, Adam gonna get hit by the bubble, and here comes Swag again. He's gonna get the stun onto Burning Dreams. Tark taking a lot of damage, but they're not quite able to finish off any of these kills. They will be able to get the crash. I think if Samira and Tarek stick around, there's a potential for them to get dove here. Is the side of PF Chang's going to look for it. Swag, he's looking all right. He's moving forward. He's gonna look for it. Rare Adam back underneath the turret. And Swag, he does still have the stun ready to go. Now Adam separated from his support, but Chicken Senpai taking turret aggro extremely early, and that is going to be the double kill traded back as a little bit misplayed there from the Kaisa. Picking up the aggro on the turret too early means that the turret was warming up, did that extra damage, and picked up the extra kill for the Samira.
And I was going to say that that was a rough situation. You really want Burning Dreams to still be in tether radius with Rare Adam so they could just start bonking something to get the heal off. But clearly, Rare Adam didn't need it. The Samira's got 2 kills, and we were talking about momentum. That is everything you need for No Good Luck to pop off bot side of the map. Let's
Hmm.
see where else we could start to see pressure being applied by the blue team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Across the rest of the
I
map,
am
things
getting
are looking.
some. Your mic seems to be.
Oh, is my connection
Your
bad? My
your mic
connection
is
is very
cutting out a little
frequently
bit
bad.
on me on Nyarko, but yeah, it seems to be potentially a little bit of an issue at the moment. Unfortunately, we'll try and work around it. You know, we still it shouldn't really have that big of an effect, I think, because you know our commentary was going to be pretty scatterbrained anyway, due to our dual play-by-play nature. So, uh, you know, we weren't really able to bounce off each other's points anyway. So no harm, no foul. As Katarina is going to get the scat of the week in the mid lane, but again, not going to be too impactful. As this is aggressive, Adam pushing into the enemy jungle. Will find the bear, but will not be inclined to engage on the bear. Just getting a little bit of information.
And right now, as it
How's it
currently
going over there,
stands,
Nyarko?
oh, how's my microphone sounding? Hello, hello.
It sounded good right now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well that's good to hear.
This
And
thing is
immediately
on.
action topside. So take it away, play by play.
Ooh. Yeah, Espada has a nice riposte, gets the stun onto the Cassante, and popping the ghost should be able to escape underneath the turret. So nicely done, but this time around, Captain Kozer not expending their own ghost. So Summoner Spell advantage in the top lane. Gets the knockback. Oh, he's going for the ultimate as well. He's under the turret, though. He's taking a lot of damage, and no, he just gets soloed down. He gets eliminated by the turret. Turret 2 OP. Captain Kozer didn't respect it, and he absolutely just gives a kill over to the Fiora.
Rough situation for sure. Captain Kozer was playing so belligerently on the Olaf in game number 1. It seems to have translated over onto Cassante, but this time Espada is ready and raring to go on the Fiora, and that is going to get 2 kills over to a champion that already had a significant CS advantage versus the Cassante. So PF
Yeah.
Changs are finding strengths in their own right. This time it's top side of the map, and things are looking a little bit flipped versus what was happening in game number 1.
Definitely the case. Yes, as Adam goes in, looking for potentially a play, but the stun will not land. Oh, the Inferno Trigger does come out. It's not quite enough damage from the Smear just yet, though, as the Exhaust comes down. Exhaust traded back from Burning Dreams as well. It is good damage on both sides, obviously. Senpai with a couple of potions still left in the inventory as they move
Swag's
forward.
here.
Now, Adam forced to go back in, and he just gets taken out. Yes, it was Swag 2028 here again, and now the Killer Instinct is going to come out, and the stun will come through as Burning Dreams is the second to follow. It's a double kill now for Senpai, and now it is once again PF Chang's winning out on both sides of the map.
And PF Chains are going to take that dynamic and flip it back on its head, which is to say the right way around for them. Not only is Espada getting fed top side of the map, but now Charizard Senpai is holding on to a 3-1 kill score, getting that Noon Quiver completed. They're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with Rare Adam for quite a while now. Burning Dreams really needs to get to level 6 before we see any more aggression out of the Samira.
Yeah, definitely. Just and it's Swag again, right? Is making his presence felt at exactly the right moment in that bottom lane, having such a huge impact. As Espada does get the shove in the top lane, able to trade decently onto the Cassante as well as he tries to keep the minion wave from crashing, takes a bunch of damage in the process. Good itemization, you know, has the Bramble Vest to try and cut some of the damage, some of the healing from this Fiora, but Espada accelerated this early on cannot be good news for No Good Luck. No good luck or good news. Just no good anything.
No good anything, yeah, for sure. And I think that one of the other things about this Fiora dynamic, oh my god, Captain Kozer going so low there in the trade's top side of the map. But yeah, as I was saying, one of the other things to note is that this is probably just going to be another free take of a few neutral objectives for PF Changs. They got the first dragon, and now Volibear is angling topside again. Swag looking for a Rift Herald, and given how good this champion is at diving, they could easily zone one of these lanes completely off of their wave and get a very good Shelly drop down before the plates fall.
Yeah, definitely. And Look at this from Orbitrap. He's in the bot lane. He's going for a lane gank onto the Kaisa Nami. But again, this wave is not.
Oh, no.
Charge on step by step. What the? Okay, we'll just pretend we didn't see that one. I think is the best course of action.
Yeah.
As Captain Kozer 2 levels down in the top lane, still losing out in this 1v1. And instead of going for the Rift Herald, Nyarko, it is actually Swag moving into the enemy topside jungle, taking away these camps. He knows now that Ivern was in that bottom lane due to an unnamed skill shot that we will never discuss again. And he was able to steal away the blue buff, looking for the mid lane play. Now as the shockwave comes out, excellent teamwork from the mid jungle as the turret gets disabled, and Swag is flashing forward, just needs a little bit more damage, and he will find it as the junglers each pick up a kill. Swag trading himself to take out Katarina in the mid lane, and Ivern is also here.
Ivern is also here. It's mostly Daisy Dip, you know what I mean? That's the one doing the damage. Swag being taken down here is going to slow PF Chang's roll for just a little bit. Top side of the map, we got some action.
Close one, close one. Walk it out in time. Nothing to worry about. Captain Kozer is pushing in the minion wave successfully. And yes, the Fiora does have teleport, so can just go for a reset here. Come right on back to that lane in time to catch the minion wave. And Herald still alive. Looks like Ivern is thinking about starting this one up, but Volibear is also on the top side of the map, and here comes the Fiora with the TP. I think Orbitrap might get spotted out here as Adam. Nice wind wall on the bubble. Very necessary. They're trying to hold the wave again. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, we got another engaged
hang on now, Adam.
The
Ignite comes down. The Terracle ultimate comes out. Oh, look at that tidal wave from Debussy is too clean. Completely stuffs the engage from Adam and Burning Dreams. Bubble just short there. But Debussy absolutely has done their job. Now we will get the crash in from the Kaisa Nami. Second dragon spawning, and I wasn't looking at the Herald pit, but it looks like Swag ended up walking away with it.
And that's unfortunate for no good luck because they really aren't able to cross map anymore. Orbitrap needs lane support as an Ivern. This is not a solo carry jungler by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. Although they are trying to post stuff in that tri-bush and go for something bot side of the map.
They're thinking about it. Yeah, it's Orbitrap in the area once again. He hasn't been too threatening down there just yet, but continuing to try and make his presence felt as Kozer is taking a lot of damage. Just these quick little trades from the Fiora. As he gets stunned up by the Riposte as well.
Oh my god.
They're going to be in a lot of trouble when this wave crashes. Kozer is so low. The Grand Challenge still has not even been issued. As Spada can absolutely look for this. No teleport on the Cassandra either. Oh, and even Swag is here. It's just not even fair. It's not fair, Nyarko. It's too easy. And they're going to drop the Herald, and this turret is just gone, by the way.
Yep, that's the dynamic we were talking about. I mean, it wasn't even really much of a threat of a diver zoning. It was just a straight up kill behind the tier 1. Captain Kozer taken out. And while Nami's in a bit of trouble, the dragon is being taken by NGL. PF Chang's is trying to stop it, though.
Yeah, it's Senpai and Debussy. See if they can make some magic happen. Oh, Dreams flashes forward. Senpai with the sidestep. Ivern lane skill shot this time, though. The tidal wave is good, but it's not good enough as the outplay button comes out from Katarina and picks up the kill onto the enemy marksman. A little bit overeager, perhaps, as Adam goes under the turret, has the shield belt for a little bit of help. Oh, he does manage to get the kill onto the fish in the end, trades himself for it. But honestly, we could call worth on that kill onto the Samira, kill onto the Nami. He's okay. They get the dragon as well. It's fine.
Well, the good thing to note is that it's only a 3,000 gold lead for PF Chang's at the 14-minute mark this time around, but a very similar game state to game number 1, just maybe a little bit less extreme. Only 1 tower gone top side, only 1 Rift Herald dropped, and only 1 dragon over to PFC, so no good luck once again. Going to be able to stop a really fast stack towards a soul, but PF Chang still got it in the end last game. What the question is, how can NGL from here engineer a game plan? Because I think this is far more doable. Let's put our heads together one more time, Crewman. I think we got it. Right now, for me, it's just all built off of Terracle. Burning Dreams could just absolutely, completely equalize a team fight if they time that R correctly. In particularly, I'm looking at Rare Adam to get into the backline and pop multiple people with her.
Oh, dear. Hang on. We've got a big old challenge happening up here in the top lane, and Captain Kozer wasn't ready for it. He wasn't ready to be challenged. and he's just gonna be assassinated instead.
It's a rough one for sure. I don't know if you
Uh,
call it assassination though. I feel like assassination is like very clandestine. Well, I feel like Fiora is probably the most
yeah, that's
ostentatious
true.
person possible. Like her R is I'm going to kill you, do something about it for the next 10, 15 seconds.
She was hiding in the bush though, so that
Oh,
was, at least
fair,
a little
fair.
bit sneaky.
Yeah, imagine if Archduke
Taking some
Frames Ferdinand was
inspiration from
taken out like
Faker
that.
even.
Perhaps.
He's
Swag
very
going forward
well
here.
known, I think, for his subtlety. Yeah, that's going to be Swag getting stunned up by a scatter, but he's not afraid whatsoever, going straight back in. The shockwave is massive, the tidal wave even bigger, as Adam trying to turn things around with the Inferno Trigger, trying to get the damage out. Oh, the Unleashed Power, almost enough to take out the Volibear, but not quite there. Scatter is good onto the Kaisa. Senpai taking a decent chunk as well. So it is No Good Luck fighting back in the mid lane, able to keep everybody up as Swag face checks. He's a little bit of health in the ultimate, but it's not enough. As Adam picks up the kill on the enemy jungler. It's absolutely huge for No Good Luck, and now they can look towards the objective since there is no smite on the enemy team.
Yeah, that being said,
but they don't have their own smite either.
Map. Yeah, Orbitraps is dead.
Oh, dang it. Well, it was good from Adam.
Oh
it was
no,
also good
it's not good anymore for Adam, I'll tell you that much.
No, that was not good. That was not good. That was a very nice prey seeker from Senpai. Was there a ward in that bush? Or did they just see him walk in? I think they just probably saw him walk into the bush.
Yeah, I think they just saw him walk up.
Kind of a half skill, half luck. Yeah, for Senpai there. It was a good shot. Stop the base, get the kill.
But at the same time, Crewman, they always say, what makes someone lucky? It's skill, in fact, because for some reason, it's always the skillful people who are lucky at the end of the day. And that's why they just appear so. They are actually just 100% skilling it with those void missiles. Ooh, Shift in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, the Unleashed Power. Yeah, we'll get the flash out from Oriana. This Syndra just needs like 5 more AP. Just like a tiny bit more damage. And she'd have like 2 or 3 more kills right now. As Adam this is not a 1v1 that you can win, my friend. He's going to go for the wind wall. Oh, no, don't dash back in, Adam, no! He's going to have to flash.
Oh, no!
He lost the shield boat. He's just dead. He shouldn't have even been on the same screen as that Fiora. I don't know, what are you doing, Adam, as Captain Kozer is in a 1v1 with Swag. Swag was definitely winning his last game, and look at this. It's not, yeah, I was absolutely, I couldn't have been more wrong. I was just, that was like an 1/8 of a brain from me right there. I did not expect the collapse to come through, even though I can see the mini-map. And, to be fair, Captain Kozer, he didn't have as much vision necessarily as I do, so he couldn't necessarily expect that big old collapse to come through. But, when the Volibear is trying to 1v1 you, you should probably think that something might be up, as Swag will threaten the tree as well, but really just wants the wolf camp, I think.
I gotta say, this Ivern pick is probably the most puzzling on this in this entire game right now. It just feels like Orbitrap's just unable to do anything. I understand maybe funneling Rare Adam or Captain Kozer or Katarina, as they all looked relatively stable in that first game. But the problem is that when you're up against someone as aggressive as Swag is, you have to expect a bunch of invades, and now Orbitrap is just sitting there pretty behind on CS, definitely behind on gold income, and really unable to do anything as all their lanes are kind of collapsing in on one another, and there's no one to really funnel for that Ivern to play off of.
It's absolute devastation in the mid lane as Shelly gets a charge, 2 charges, I should say, destroys the tier 1, takes a big old chunk out of the tier 2, and now PF Changs are onto the dragon. It will be their first Infernal. We have an Infernal Soul, another incredibly powerful soul here for our second game. As the Volibear, oh, I saw 4 HP on that thing. That was stealable, but in the end, it does go to the Volibear with an auto attack, and Swag's able to lock that one down. And yeah, I would like to join in on your lamentation of the Ivern pick, because it was picked very early on in the draft as well, right? It was a face-up Ivern. They locked it in, I think, B2 maybe. It was Cassante first, and then Ivern. And Orbitrap just isn't having a big impact on it. He's behind in CS. He's not able to make a big impact in any of his lanes. It's just not working out. As the Volibear, Swag picking up right where he left off at the end of game 1, having a huge impact in the early game, really setting the team up for success. Gonna hand off the red buff now to Senpai as well, as Captain Kozer might get run down here. Again, Espada does have the ultimate locked and loaded, ready to go. It's gonna be Kozer going for his first, and now the immediate response is Espada just slices him in half. That was brutal from the Fiora, and she, I think, is going to be uncontested in the side lane for the rest of the game.
Ooh, I mean, that's what happens when you're basically, oh god, explicit WC.
Yeah, well, yep, the fish was a little bit caught out of water there. So Debussy will go down. Face checking a Syndra, generally just not going to end well for Nami in really any circumstance. As that is the silver lining, I suppose, for the side of No Good Luck. But they're going to need a lot more linings to really come up with anything resembling a cloud of hope.
Yeah, you're going to need like gold or platinum linings, preferably diamond linings at this point to get back into the game. Arbor Trap a little bit caught out once again. Tarek E on them. We'll see if there's going to be a push forward.
Yeah, has to flash. Trying to defend the Wolf Camp once again. This time forced to expend the Summoner spell. As Adam also under pressure down here, still trying to defend against the onslaught of the Fiora. They're bringing more members down now. It's Burning Dreams looking to try his luck. He's got a dream, that's for sure. It's to kill Espada. I don't know if he's going to be able to actually accomplish that one. Doesn't seem like a very realistic dream. As Fiora is just going to easily back away until the enemy combatants are reduced in number. As Swag making his way, looking for Adam, gets the flash stun, and it's the flanking Orianna from the other side of the mid lane. Immediately has to flash away. The Orianna flank turns out isn't exactly what we needed, but Orbitrap taking a lot of damage right now. Scatter is good. Stops Senpai from chasing forward any more for the present time, but Daisy cannot run away fast enough. It will be taken out. Espada 3 levels up in the side lane, takes a couple of turret shots as the aggro did get picked up, and now Ivern is going to find a root. The stun as well. The riposte is good from Espada. Isn't good enough, though. He's exhausted. He can't run away fast enough. He's trying to get a little bit of healing back from the ultimate Espada. Does he have another dash? He's trying to run. He can't. He gets shut down, but the rest of the team, they know exactly what to do in this situation. Espada drew everybody down to the bot lane, and that means it's a free objective for PF Chang's on the other side of the map.
A Herculean effort will finally pay dividends as Spada taken down, but at what cost, you may ask? It is, in fact, the Baron buff. Although MGL continuing to try to make something out of the fact that the Fiora is gone, they're going to take the tier 1 mid because of that, and maybe the tier 1 bot as well. So good cross map, I will say. The issue is they are going to have to play Tentacle Time for the next few minutes.
Yeah, it's not a game that they're going to be very excited to play, I think, Nyarko, as they do get a tier 1 in the bot lane. Get a nice little objective bounty for that one, but still down 4,000 gold on the button. As we'll see what kind of Baron push comes out now, as Shift is going to get scattered a little bit. As Adam dashing forward, they get the kill onto the mid laner, but Swag is here. The teleport coming down from Espada as well. And now everybody has to run this Fiora. It's just an absolute monster. Is ready to slice everybody to pieces. The scatter is good, but Adam is not long for this world as the Stormbringer comes in, and Swag absolutely dunks them into the dirt. He's going to continue chasing the Prey Seeker, just hits onto the minion wave as Espada has gone back to collect their own wave so that they can continue the Baron push. It was a good idea, I think, from the side of No Good Luck. They got a pick onto the mid laner, but they lost 2 in exchange. Now, let's see how much damage Changs can do with this push. They're going to steal away the red buff, steal away all the jungle camps as well. They're going to, at the very least, get this tier 2 Nyarko.
They're going to get Soul Point as well. Infernal Drake spawning up very soon. They're probably just going to relocate for that rather than pushing too deep. PF Chang's don't want to give any crucial shutdowns over. This isn't the biggest gold lead in the world, so this is 100% a throwable game. I like the prudency as they do relocate. And now they have a really good pressure point on the map. No Good Luck is going to have to step up in 5 minutes, whether they like it or not, to try to stop this crucial soul from going over to Red Squad.
Yeah, if we give over Inferno Soul to the Kaisa Orianna and not even to mention this Fiora, who is just
things are not
one-shotting people already. Like, yeah.
First time in a while, we're going to see Hullbreaker coming out on Fiora. Espada really just looking to side lane and do not much else. So far, the strategy's been working perfectly well. No Good Luck has been sending a ton of resources over to deal with this champion. The only time where you've ever seen a true 1v1 is when Espada's already been half health by the fact that they're diving Captain Kozer for going on a solid mid under that turret.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only time that the Fiora was realistically contested in this game. It is Espada. Remember, it was the Cassante first pick, so this was a counter pick that Espada wanted to pull out. It has been extremely effective. So big props to the PF Chang's top laner, playing it out well even from the drafting phase. Now we do have a while until we get any more neutrals on the map, so let's see how aggressively PF Chang's want to play this one out. Looks like they're going to try and 4-1 between mid and top lane for now, as Espada is going to continue the split pushing. How do you like this call, Nyarko?
I think it's probably correct. Like I said, this is very throwable, especially with Burning Dreams having Carrick ult up. No Good Luck. The closer they are to their base, the more likely they are to group. Oh, Katarina, baby.
That's the second time we've seen that this game, as Debussy is going to find Syndra waiting in a bush. And Syndra's going to be very happy about where that fish was located. So, it's going to be some more sushi for Katarina. And that will stymie the push of the side of PF Chang's for now. But again, no huge neutrals to fight over at the moment. So, just a pick onto the support is that we're going to need a little bit more. That was maybe like a gold lining, I think we could say. But that's it's still not good enough, Nyarko.
Yeah, 6,000 gold gap still is something that's very difficult to come back from, especially given the scaling that exists on PF Chang's side. Charizard Senpai is an incredibly fed Kai'Sa at this point in the game. They're massively, well, not massively, but they are out farming Rare Adam, and their items are really beginning to push towards that. You aren't coming back from a team fight style of play, and really, as we get closer and closer to, as we get closer and closer to second Baron, I think that this is going to be the deciding kind of contention point. PF Chang's still have great front-to-back potential here. Burning Dreams Rare Adam really the only hope, I think, for doing enough damage to tear through all these champs, especially given they have full tank Swag 2028 right there on the Volibear.
Yeah, you were touching on it earlier, right? That the Taric is really key to this composition functioning effectively. Like, the invulnerability is absolutely massive for actually keeping, you know, Samira and Cassante safe while they build up their power in the fight. You know, with Cassante, to be honest, I don't really know how the champion works yet, but Samira, you need to build up those style points, and you can't do that if you're taking a whole bunch of damage and potentially dying. So we'll see how that combination looks. It can be a little bit tough to coordinate, especially when you are this far behind. It really has to be perfect between the Samira and the Taric to have any chance in the team fight. And Swag, as you were just saying as well, to absolutely tearing it up on the Volibear. I wanted to mention in the previous game, when he was on the Zac, it was mostly a tank build there as well. And Swag actually had the most damage in the game from the jungle. So smurfing once again, this time on the bear. And it is going to be our Baron spawning in 20 seconds. We see Vision in the river. It is the side of PF Chang's perfectly set up for this one. And Swag's he's just waiting for it to spawn. He's right here. He's ready to go. Fiora, Espada in the area as well. And if we look at the side of No Good Luck, they're still in their base. Nyarko, do you feel like they have to contest this Baron, or should they be giving this one up and just waiting for the Soul Dragon to spawn and try and fight there? What do you think would be their best chance?
I think that they need to just wait on Soul Dragon. I think that given the strong control that PF Chang's have over River, over the entirety of NGL's jungle, in fact, there's no reason to walk up. I would rather just send your entire team down there, get them situated in Pixel Bush or something similar, and hope for an easy pick to stop the Infernal Soul from being taken.
All right. Well, here they are. They're trying to push through their own bot side jungle to maybe get down to Vision. It's a little bit of CC onto the bear, but he's full tank building. So, oh, that was an exquisite Zhonya's Hourglass from Shift to immune the Syndra ultimate, and Espada is already in the base. He has the Baron buff, and we know that Cassante is no match for the Fiora in a 1v1. Dragon spawns onto the Rift. It is a 4v4 in the bot side river as No Good Luck desperately look for their last stand. Base under siege. Espada with 2 Canyon minions to work with. Gonna get some good damage down on that structure. Nobody starting up the dragon just yet. It's just a face-off. They're waiting for Espada to do his thing. Time is very much on the side of PF Chang's as Captain Kozer is ghosting now.
Oh
He
my
has to run, has to try
gosh.
and get underneath the pound. The riposte comes through, though. He goes for the Gasante ultimate, but I
Oh!
don't think that's the direction you need to be running, Captain. And he is going to go down desperately now. No good luck. They're starting up the dragon. They know they need to secure this before they go back to the base. If they're up against an Infernal Soul, this game is far from winnable. But Swag is just going to go straight into the fray. The Volibear coming in with the Stormbringer. It's Samira dashing forward as Rare Adam. The Eteric Ultimate is good, but it's not good enough. They're so far behind. Swag is still so healthy. They're getting a lot of damage down under Charizard Senpai. They do take out the Kaisa. It's only Swag now in the base, but look at Fiora Espada is looking to end the game. He's got to teleport onto the minion. Swag is buying so much time here, and yes, there goes the Nexus as Fiora will finish things off, and it will be the 2-0 for PF Chang's.
Impressive fight on the backside of that one. I gotta hand it to No Good Luck. That was the dream engage I was talking about. Burning Dreams maybe R'ing a little bit too fast there, where Adam wasn't able to get the full S stacks to get the Inferno trigger while still under the influence of the Taric invincibility. But things almost turned around. The issue is that this is once again too little too late. Espada on the split push of a lifetime, solo ending the game. Impressive confidence to take down those turrets. I think particularly the play around the topside inhibitor turret was really what decided this game. Captain Kozer just was not able to stall for long enough and took way too much poke, so that when the grand challenge was issued, there was nothing they could do but die, and that imbalanced the entirety of the game. PFC once again showing dominance on the Rift, and I'm happy to see them walk away with the 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely massive for PF Chang's. I mean, I was talking a little bit in the intro about how this team has only actually ever found the one win previously to tonight in season 14, and they looked very convincing tonight. I mean, they were clearly the better team over No Good Luck, at least this evening. Maybe the stream buff is real, huh, Nyarko?
Maybe it is, yeah. I mean, if there was a time to show out, it is here when you are, in fact, in front of a loving audience. No Good Luck tried their best for sure. I think that they also had a lot of bright spots highlighted here for people watching, but PF Chang's from front to back felt like the superior team. And I think it comes down to the fact that their individual players did a really good job. Sans any cross lane interference, any jungle ganks, I think that we still would have seen a dub for PFC in this series, although Swag was a difference maker in both rounds.
Yeah, unbelievable performance from the jungle for Swag. I think that was maybe the biggest disparity in performance tonight, if we're just looking at like individual role matchups. But as you say, it was really strong performances across the board for PF Chang's. Everybody playing really, really well. Katarina and Adam, I feel like putting up good fights in the mid and bot lanes. Shift wasn't really able to find any huge advantages in lane, and Adam did have a couple of nice moments where he got himself, a couple of double kills, and was pretty strong in this game, but just didn't have enough support. Wasn't far enough ahead to get through this incredibly tanky Volibear. And in the end, it was Espada that really just kind of took over in this second one.
And yeah, I was impressed with every single player on this team because it wasn't necessarily like the entire fate of PF Chang's rested in the hands of Espada, in the hands of Swag. Charizard Senpai and Explosive Debussy bot side of the map were really competent in both games, getting super fed off of what were oftentimes just raw 2v2 plays versus Rare Adam and Burning Dreams. And this isn't even to mention Shift, who was a big playmaker with a lot of their shockwaves in the second game. But more importantly than that, were just a rock that the team could rely on. Sure, they in Katarina didn't do a whole lot in the 1v1 versus each other, but sometimes that is needed when you have such wild things happening in the side lanes. You don't want to have to put any resources toward the Orianna, and Shift rose to that call magnificently.
Yeah, and overall, that's generally just, I think, how the matchup goes, right? Between Syndra and Orianna. It's not really an action-packed one. Maybe not as sleeper as some other well-known matchups, but, the Syndra-Orianna control mage matchup, they're both just looking to scale, looking to get their items until they really hit those power spikes. But, Nyarko, what do you think about MVP for tonight's matchup? If we had to choose one player from the side of PF Chang's, who would you want to give it to? What do you
I
think?
think the Swag's got in the bag, man. I mean, both games, very impressive
Hmm.
stuff all around. They showed that they could play both the high tempo style jungler as well as the person that was actually going for some of those deep invades. In game number 2, I think that one of the things that put Orbitrap so far behind on this Ivern was the fact that every time they showed, Swag would immediately run to the far side of the map, knowing that those camps were getting charged off of the Ivern passive, and he could take them before the Ivern could return to collect that golden experience.
Yeah, absolutely masterclass from Swag, I think, here tonight. And as a jungle main myself, I always love the jungle love. So I'm very, very happy to align my vote with yours. Our brains shall indeed fuse for the MVP voting, and we're just going to go ahead and give it to Swag. So, for no good luck, a tough one tonight. We're hoping to see them come back strong. It's always important to end the regular season on a high note so that you can go into the playoffs, into those playoff brackets with the best possible mindset, with the best possible strategy and morale and everything like that. So hopefully they are going to be able to turn things around. A huge win tonight for PF Chang's that they really, really needed. So congratulations to them. Nyarko, do you have any closing thoughts for tonight's match and the conclusion of your third cast of the day?
I'm telling you already, man. I don't think. But that is to say, I'm honored to cast with you. It's great to actually finally get on and have a broadcast with another fellow play-by-play where we could share in our love of
Mhm.
all things silly and violent in this game of League of Legends.
It was an absolutely fantastic time, and I think we were successful in being pretty colorful as well, Nyarko. So, uh,
Sure.
great stuff overall. Hope you all in Twitch chat enjoyed the stream as well. So, from myself, from Nyarko, from the entire production team at Style Esports, that's going to do it from us tonight. Thank you again so much for watching. We appreciate you all very much. Good night.